From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Monday, May 30th. It is Memorial Day, and it is shaping up to be a beautiful one. Mostly sunny skies, a little bit humid. A few winds will be around 20-mile-per-hour gusts with highs in the mid to upper 80s. And I'll get to all the Memorial Day services here in a little bit. But first, I want to tell you about some shootings that happened. Indianapolis police say a 17-year-old boy is dead after an early morning shooting on the far south side. It happened at an apartment complex on Twig Place, just off Man Road, around 12:30. Officers say that they think the victim's from out of state. First listed in critical condition, but police say he died at the hospital. And police were called to an apartment near Washington Park East Cemetery around 12:20 this morning. IMPD says they found a man shot, but aren't sure that's where the shooting happened. He's stable at the hospital. Then just after 3, police were called to a shooting at an apartment near Meridian and Epler Avenue on the south side. IMPD says that person is awake and breathing. The most recent happened at 3:20 this morning at the Relax Inn on Tibbs Avenue near Washington Street. Police tell us a man is in critical condition but stable at the hospital. They say homicide and aggravated assault detectives are investigating because of how severe his injuries are. Police do not have any suspect information. And a man is under arrest for a road rage shooting late Friday night in Indianapolis. 22-year-old Cameron Lumpkin Ware-May is charged with attempted murder. The shooting happened at 10th Street and Country Club Road. Officers found a man shot at the scene. Police say the suspect stayed and helped the man until officers and medics arrived. At last check, IMPD says the man is in critical condition at the hospital. And the 106th running of the Indy 500 is officially in the books. More than 325,000 fans packed the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to watch the field of 33. Turn 2 created a problem for at least one driver. Arenas VK hit the wall on lap 39, led to his day being done. Pole sitter Scott Dixon led for most of the race, but with just 23 laps to go, a speed penalty in the pits dropped him from 1st to 26th place. That penalty, combined with a crash from teammate Jimmy Johnson, pushed Marcus Ericsson to the lead. A red flag with just 2 laps to go from Johnson's crash led to an intense final 2-lap shootout. Ericsson blocked a pass by Pato O'Ward and took the checkered flag. Sports director Anthony Calhoun got the chance to hear Marcus Ericsson's reaction immediately following his thrilling win.
Marcus Ericsson, this year's Indy 500 winner. I know that's got to sound so good to you, man.
Yeah, it's a dream coming true, and, it's something I've been working towards for such a long time, and I'm still struggling to take it in. I'm still struggling to understand that we actually did it, that we won it. It's just an incredible feeling.
Take us through those last 2 laps, that shootout. You talk about some big-time driving. What was it like for you? I'm sure your heart was pounding like crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, those 10 minutes sitting on that red flag, thinking about those last 2 laps was really hard because, I had the race almost won before that yellow came, and I had that big gap. I knew I had a fast car, but then I had to sit there and sort of refocus and just try and pull it off. I knew Pato was going to have a run at me because it's hard being up front when they're right in your slipstream behind. But I had a plan. I'd played it in my head many, many times in a situation like that. I spoke to Dari last night about this specific situation, what to do. And I just tried to use all that knowledge and managed to pull it off. It got closer, but I kept my foot in it, and that was what was needed.
You got a little emotional afterwards when you came in here to Victory Circle, and I know your crew was telling you to look back and think about the people who got you here. Take us through that.
Yeah, it was very emotional because this weekend, my family is here, my mom and dad, one of my brothers, my girlfriend, but also my manager and my trainer who's been with me for so many years, and mainly my backer, Finn, who's been with me since I was 15 years old. Always believed in me, even in the tough times when things wasn't going very well and many people didn't believe in me. Yeah. They were always there believing in me, and they're all here today, and that just feels so special. And to share this moment with them, it's it gets me just emotional talking about it.
I know afterwards, the milk, how cool was that for you?
Yeah, it's one of those moments, you see people win this race and do that celebration, and it's definitely something you dream of. And all those days and nights you work, really hard and dedicate your life to this. It's for moments like that makes it worth it.
And you see the Borg Warner Trophy here. Your face is going to be on there. Your likeness is going to be on there. I know that's going to be an important moment, a special moment for you, right?
It's going to be so special. I can't believe it still. Incredible.
Well, congratulations. This year's 106th running of the Indy 500 champion here, Marcus Ericsson, everybody.
And one of the defining moments of this year's Indy 5 was pole sitter Scott Dixon being hit with that speed penalty in the pits. Olivia Ray caught up with Dixon on the penalty that cost him a potential second 500 victory.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? That's why it's so tough to win at this place.
Instead of celebrating his long-anticipated second trip to Victory Circle, Scott Dixon likely won't be able to shake how it all slipped away on Sunday.
Just frustrating. The car was, really good all day. We had really good speed. I think the team did an amazing job on strategy. I just messed up. I think, if things went smooth, we would have been, in the fight at the end, but obviously not.
With 95 laps led and just about 24 to go, a penalty for speeding on the final pit is probably the only way anyone in the field was catching the Iceman this month.
I tell you, once or twice, the place picks who is the winner, and again, it wasn't his day. He certainly has the fast car.
If we're gonna go every day, so yeah, he was really strong, but that's how you win and lose races. I feel really bad for him. I think he dominated all day.
I mean, this place, it doesn't owe you anything, but I feel bad for Scott. I think he's been the guy to beat all month. And I don't really know what happened there on pit lane, but anyway, I know he's going to come back stronger next year.
Certainly you're disappointed, but I mean, you're going to have that when you have 5 cars. Not everybody's going to have a perfect day. That's what we try to avoid. The whole team, though, is it's one team, and everyone's happy when the team wins.
How about it, huh?
You did it!
We did it.
Thanks to Ericsson, Chip's decade-long drought is snapped. But as for the man who's led the most laps in this track's history, he still has just one Indy 500 win to his name. Scott Dixon had record-setting speeds the entire month of May, but his 20th start at IMS will be remembered by more bad luck. Reporting from the 106th running of the Indianapolis 500, I'm Olivia Ray. Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Now to Memorial Day ceremonies. Events in several communities are scheduled to recognize people who have lost their lives in service to the country. At Crown Hill National Cemetery in Indianapolis, there will be speakers, a playing of taps, and a 21-cannon salute to make up the 152nd Memorial Day ceremony. It starts at 10 o'clock this morning. And also at 10, the city of Fishers is hosting Gold Star families and the community. It includes a flyover, taps, and musical performances. It's at the Gold Star Families Memorial Monument in front of Fishers City Hall. In Newcastle, the Henry County Chamber of Commerce will host a ceremony and a parade. The ceremony is at 9 this morning on the Newcastle Courthouse lawn. The parade starts at 10 downtown. President Joe Biden gathered with families in Uvalde, Texas, to grieve the loss of 19 children and 2 teachers. They were killed by a gunman in a mass shooting last Tuesday. We have reported on this extensively. Biden visited a memorial to the victims and attended Mass at a local Catholic church. A crowd gathered outside the church as the president left, chanting, "Do something." He responded by saying, "We will." It was the only public comment the president made during his trip to Texas. He did meet privately with families and first responders. And also over the weekend, the Justice Department announced plans to review the police response. A DOJ spokesperson says it will conduct a critical incident review at the request of Uvalde's mayor. This comes after intense public scrutiny over how police handled last week's shooting. Some parents say a quicker response time could have saved lives. The department says the assessment will be fair, transparent, and independent. It says it plans to publish its findings once the review is complete. The House Select Committee investigating last year's riot at the U.S. Capitol is no longer asking to get Republican email marketing data. Members announced they can't get access to the RNC Salesforce records in time for next month's public hearings. Investigators questioned if the emails showed that the group raised money by claiming election fraud. The committee asked for the data in February. Lawyers for Republicans have been able to block progress. The committee's now pushing the court case later into the summer after the public hearings. And experts say gas prices may not fall until August or September. John Lawrence explains what could eventually lead to the decrease.
I haven't seen these type of prices in all my life.
The temperature won't be the only thing going up this summer.
As we progress beyond Memorial Day, I now peg our odds at $5 a gallon, gasoline nationwide at 60%. So that could be coming.
As of Monday, the national average for a gallon of gas was $4.60, according to GasBuddy.com, just as Americans head into the summer driving season.
You know, I won't do quick trips down to Florida to see family and stuff in the car, and I'll probably limit some of my plane travel just until everything drops back down.
The cost of gas surged about 30% since Russia attacked Ukraine in late February, and the U.S. is feeling the pinch.
Energy costs are way too high. The president's taken some steps to ease that by the release of our reserves. We recognize the international circumstances of war in Ukraine, and the energy prices are not determined here in the United States, but we need to do more about it.
Gas Buddy says demand usually starts to fall in August, which could help the cost of gas to drop. However, severe weather in the Atlantic could play spoiler.
The above average hurricane forecast, that is a high risk that we could see prices remaining elevated basically through Labor Day.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And to the war in Ukraine, the country's president makes a rare visit to the front lines. Volodymyr Zelensky went to Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, on the northern border of Russia on Sunday. He was evaluating the strength of the national defense. Russian forces are pounding eastern Ukraine. Zelensky says the situation is indescribably difficult and that the Russian attack has destroyed critical infrastructure and damaged 90% of buildings. 10 people are in the hospital after a stampede at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. NYPD reports loud noises set off an active shooter scare around 1 o'clock yesterday morning. An investigation found there was no shooting, with police calling it a sound disturbance. It followed a boxing match between Devontae Davis and Rolando Romero. Tennis star Naomi Osaka was there. She tweeted she was petrified when she saw people running and shouting. Health leaders now consider monkeypox to be a moderate risk to the global public health. The World Health Organization is reporting cases in countries where the disease isn't typically found. There have been no deaths in non-endemic countries, but there are now 257 confirmed cases and 120 that are suspected in 23 nations. In the U.S., the CDC reported 12 cases in 8 states on Friday. The WHO is urging doctors to watch closely for possible symptoms like rash or fever. And the FDA is investigating a hepatitis A outbreak in 3 states, possibly linked to organic strawberries. Health officials say there have been 17 cases in California, Minnesota, and North Dakota. 12 people needed hospital treatment. Most of the cases were reported between March 28th and April 30th. The strawberry brands included Fresh Campo and H-E-B. People who bought and then may have frozen the fruit are encouraged to throw it away. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband is facing criminal charges for driving under the influence. Police in Napa County, California, pulled over Paul Pelosi just before midnight Saturday. They arrested him on 2 misdemeanors. Paul Pelosi posted $5,000 bail to get out of the jail yesterday morning. Speaker Pelosi's office said she has no comment at this time. A historic tabernacle in New York City valued at $2 million is stolen. St. Augustine Catholic Church in Brooklyn discovered the theft on Saturday. The church believes it was stolen Friday. It says the thieves cut through a metal protective casing to steal it. There are many working security cameras inside and outside, but the church says the thieves took the entire recording system. The church says the tabernacle dates back to the 1890s and is irreplaceable due to its historic and artistic value. Nepalese authorities have found 14 bodies at the site where there was a plane that crashed. There were 19 passengers and 3 crew members on board. According to Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority, the plane lost contact with air control 12 minutes into its flight yesterday. It was flying from the city of Pokhara to Jomson, a popular tourist town in central Nepal. The country's army spokesperson says the search and rescue efforts will continue into its second day. At least 56 people have died in northeastern Brazil in landslides and floods. Officials say heavy rain wreaked havoc over the weekend. Hundreds of people have been forced to leave their homes. Officials are urging residents in landslide-prone areas to move to safer places. They say some places have seen more rain in one day than in the entire month of May. And this year's NBA Finals matchup is set. The Boston Celtics defeated the Miami Heat in Game 7 last night to move on to their first finals in 12 years. They'll be matched up with the Golden State Warriors, who last won the championship in 2018. This is the second time these two teams have played in the finals, the first being in 1964. The finals begin this Thursday at the Chase Center in San Francisco. And finally, a world accordion champion hopes to break a Guinness World Record at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Mario Andretti is set to drive Corey Pesaturo around the track at 200 miles per hour while he plays his accordion. It will be the fastest the vehicle has been driven with an onboard live performance. Pesaturo previously set a Guinness World Record for the longest accordion performance. He played for more than 32 hours in 2014. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.